Hello, dear listeners. Close your eyes and let the day drift away. The room grows quiet, and the blankets feel warmer, and the world feels far away. Magic waits where dreams feel safest. Breathe slowly, and step into the story of the Nutcracker and the Mouse King. On a snowy Christmas Eve, in a warm, candlelit living room, the house of the Stahlbaum family glowed with excitement. The great Christmas tree stood tall and sparkling, its branches heavy with golden apples, silver strings, delicate sweets, and candles that flickered like tiny stars. Beneath it lay a mountain of gifts, wrapped in shining paper. Marie, a sweet-hearted young girl with bright, thoughtful eyes, held her breath as she waited. Her brother Fritz bounced with excitement beside her. Tonight, like every Christmas, their mysterious godfather Drosselmeyer, the strange, brilliant inventor with wild hair and patchwork coat, would arrive with gifts that no one else in the city could create. At last the door opened. Drosselmeyer stepped in, his coat filled with hidden gears and glitter, his eyes twinkling with mischief. He bowed dramatically and lifted the cover from the gift he brought. It was a mechanical castle, with dancers twirling on ivory balconies, tiny soldiers marching, owls flapping their wings, and a clock that chimed like real bells. Fritz clapped loudly. Marie watched, amazed, as every tiny figure moved with lifelike charm. But then, Drosselmeyer reached into his bag again and said, "And for you, dear children, something to treasure the whole year." From the velvet lining he pulled out a simple wooden figure, a nutcracker shaped like a little soldier, painted in bright red and gold, with a long jaw made for cracking nuts. He was not as magnificent as the castle. He was not expensive. But to Marie, he was perfect. She held him gently, almost protectively. The Nutcracker's smile was wide and kind, and something about his painted, brave expression made her heart warm. Fritz snatched him playfully. "Let me crack the hardest nuts," he said. Crack! Crack! The Nutcracker's jaw struggled, then broke slightly. "Fritz!" Marie cried. "You're hurting him!" She took the Nutcracker back, cradling him like a wounded friend, and wrapped him with a soft ribbon from her dress. Drosselmeyer bent down and whispered to Marie, "You have a tender heart, my child. That is why the Nutcracker belongs to you." Later that night, when everyone was asleep, Marie tiptoed back into the living room to check on her Nutcracker. She placed him gently near the Christmas tree, kissed his wooden cheek, and whispered, "I'll take care of you. Don't worry." The candles had burned low. The clock struck midnight. And then, something strange happened. The whole room seemed to stretch. The walls expanded. The Christmas tree grew taller, 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 its ornaments now the size of lanterns. The toys around Marie grew huge, towering over her. Only then did she realize. She had shrunk. Or the world had grown. A rustling noise came from the shadows. From beneath the floorboards, from cracks in the walls, from behind the curtains, mice crawled out, dozens of them, wearing tiny crowns and armor made of tin pieces. Their eyes glowed red in the dim light. Leading them was a terrifying figure, the seven-headed Mouse King, each head wearing a crown, each mouth bearing sharp teeth. Marie trembled, stepping backward. But suddenly, from atop a drum, from behind toy chests, from the folds of the curtains, tiny toy soldiers marched forward, drums beating, rifles raised. They were alive. And in front of them stood the Nutcracker. Now taller, commanding, his broken jaw set firmly, his eyes bright with courage. He lifted his little sword and shouted in a voice that echoed like a real general. "Forward, brave soldiers! Protect Marie!" The battle began. The toy soldiers clashed with the mice in a whirl of squeaks and shouts. Drums thundered. Tin cannons fired sugar pellets. Marie stood frozen, watching in fear and wonder. The Mouse King lunged forward, all 7 heads snapping. The Nutcracker fought bravely but struggled. He was outnumbered. Marie, desperate to help, took off her slipper and threw it with all her strength. The slipper struck the Mouse King squarely. He staggered. And in that moment, the Nutcracker leapt forward and delivered the final blow. The Mouse King fell. The mice scattered in fear, disappearing back into the cracks from where they came. The room grew still. The Nutcracker looked at Marie with deep gratitude, then suddenly, softly, collapsed to the floor, exhausted. Marie ran to him and held him close. But before she could speak, the world began to blur. Lights dissolved. The trees shimmered. The soldiers faded. And Marie fainted into a peaceful dream. When she awoke, she was lying in her bed. Her mother stood beside her, worried, and Drosselmeyer sat in a chair, stroking his beard mysteriously. Marie tried to tell them everything: the mice, the soldiers, the Nutcracker's bravery. Her mother smiled gently. "My sweet girl, you must have dreamed it." But Drosselmeyer said nothing. His eyes twinkled strangely. That night, as the clock struck 12 again, a soft tapping came at Marie's door. She opened it and gasped. Standing there was a handsome young prince, dressed in velvet and gold. His face was familiar, the eyes, the smile, and he bowed deeply before her. "I am the Nutcracker," he said softly. "Or rather, I was. The Mouse King's curse trapped me inside the wooden body. Your bravery broke the spell." Marie's heart fluttered. He reached out his hand. "Come with me. Let me show you my kingdom." Marie took his hand, and together they stepped into a magical land that shimmered like winter stardust. They entered the land of snow, where snowflakes danced like ballerinas and the Snow Queen welcomed them with icy beauty. From there, they traveled to the Kingdom of Sweets, where the Sugar Plum Fairy herself greeted Marie with a soft kiss on the hand and said, "Because you saved our prince, tonight the whole kingdom dances for you." And they danced. Chocolate soldiers marched cheerfully. Marzipan dancers twirled like flowers. Candy canes leapt like acrobats. And the Sugar Plum Fairy's own dance shimmered like music made visible. Marie felt as if she were dreaming, but it was a dream she never wanted to wake from. Finally, the Nutcracker Prince guided her to a crystal carriage. "Marie," he said softly, "in my world you are the bravest heart of all. I wish for you to stay." But the stars blurred again. The music faded. And Marie found herself back in her room, the Nutcracker lying motionless in her arms, just a toy once more. Yet something in her heart told her the magic had been real. Years passed. Marie grew older, graceful, kind, gentle. And one winter morning, a stranger visited the house, a young man with eyes full of warmth and a smile she had seen before. He bowed to her, just as the prince had long ago. And in that moment, Marie understood. Some stories do not end. They simply come true in another form. And so she took his hand. And the magic of Christmas lived on. In a love born from courage, dreams, and a nutcracker who once came to life under a shining tree.